everyone, happy new year. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad to have you all with me. I hope you are doing well. I hope you have started 2021 ready for bigger and better things than what we had last year. If you are new to my channel, I am Joleen from sunshinediary.com. I make videos on productivity, frugal living, personal planning, and basically if you are out here trying to be a girl boss, I am here for it. I am here for you, and we can do this together. If you have been subscribed to my channel for a while, however, you are aware that this is a video that I make pretty much at the beginning of every year. I always do a video where I set up my new planner, and it is an opportunity usually for me to show off a brand new planner to you guys, unbox it. I also have the opportunity to show you my planning system, what I did the past year, and what I plan to implement in the year to come, what worked and what didn't work for me, and how I intend to move forward. So that's a kind of what we're going to do today as well. However, I have to say this is probably going to be one of my shortest planner setup videos ever. And that is partially because I am not unboxing a new planner today for 2021. I am going to be using the very same planner that I used, well, last year, in 2020. It feels weird to say last year already, but yeah, last year in 2020. This was the planner that I used then, and I'm going to be using the same one. So the whole unboxing part of the video is not going to happen. That's going to make this video a little bit shorter. And also, I am very happy to say, drum roll, I think this will be a short video because I have reached planner peace. So what does that mean? That means that essentially, I don't think that there is very much about my planning system that I am going to change. I think I have finally reached a place where my planning system is not evolving. Of course, I am evolving as a person, and as I do, I will learn new things about myself and how I need to be organized. And as my life changes and my needs change, certain things will change. But for the most part, I have to say, I am satisfied with my system, and I am going to share with you guys what that means to me. If you are new to planning, if you love planning, if you just love stationery and love watching people sort of flip through their planners, if you are trying to figure out how to achieve planner peace for yourself and what might be maybe not working in your system, what you might be able to improve, this might be the video for you. So as I typically do, I am going to be starting pretty much the way I always do after the unboxing by removing all of the inserts from my 2020 planner so that I can have a fresh start for 2021. One thing that I'm going to do before I go any further is that I'm going to just quickly take some wet wipes and clean my planner. It's not that it's particularly dirty, but I tend to spend more time using it than maintaining it. So this is a good opportunity to make sure it is nice and fresh for the new year. Okay, so now that's clean, and I am just going to be pulling out my old dividers and my old dashboard from last year. I feel like my dividers are in good condition. I don't think that I need to change anything. And this planning thing is something that can get quite expensive. If you are a planner, you know what I'm talking about. So I am resisting the urge to get all new stuff. I have the same planner, and I'm going to use the same dashboard and the same dividers. So while I just sift through my dashboard and dividers and everything and just replace everything that I'm going to reuse back into my planner, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I mean by having reached planner peace. Because of course, planner peace for me is not going to be what it is for you. And I think that it's important for me to talk, especially for those of you who have been watching my videos for some time, about what is working for me, what is going to stay the same, and where I think I may have made some mistakes in the past. So, first of all, my previous planners, if you've been watching my videos for some time, and pretty much all of my previous planners, I had section after section. I used to have an index or like a table of contents right at the beginning after my dashboard, where I would go through all of the different sections I had in my planner, and I would try to include everything. I would have my daily pages, I would have to-do lists, I would have my week on one page where I would put my appointments. I would have an editorial calendar. I would have my goals. I would have a section with inspirational quotes and lists, and I would have all sorts of things in my planner. I have found, however, that there are many sections that I just don't use. Regardless of how practical they might seem, regardless of how complicated my life might be and all of that, I just don't use some of those sections. And if I don't use them, there is no point in them bulking up my planner. So what are the sections that I actually do use? First of all, I have found that my week on one page section is something that regularly gets used. This is the part of my planner where I will typically put all of my appointments. So anything that I cannot change that involves other people, so somebody else is going to be waiting for me to turn up in a certain place at a certain time, that is what I will record on my week on one page inserts. And my week on one page inserts serve a little bit as the first step in my planning process. So it is the thing that I will consult before I fill out my daily pages. And if you have been following me for some time, you know that my daily pages are what I like to refer to as the heart and soul of my planner. My daily pages are the part of my planner that I interact with the most and that really help me maintain my sanity on a daily basis. So my week on one page, I usually get the inserts from Filofax. I quite like them. I like the page quality, and you know I'm a Filofax fangirl. So that is what I do. And I typically will put in half of a year at a time. Okay, so this is not quite half. So I will just go until the beginning of June and put in all of the corresponding pages for that section of my planner. Here I've gone actually until the beginning of July, but that's fine. It doesn't take up a lot of space right now, so I think that that will be fine. I typically try not to add more than half of a year of any section, be it my week on one page or my daily pages. And as you might have guessed, the very next section that I am going to add will be my daily pages. Those are the pages that I use on a regular basis. I don't feel the need to add goals and all of that because I don't feel like I need to make my goals portable. I feel like once I make sure that what is in my appointment section, my week on one page, and what is in my daily pages reflects the tasks and actions that I need to take to accomplish my goals. As long as I make sure that that is the case, then I actually have no need to also include a goals section that I'll carry around with me every day in my planner. That's just not necessary. Goals, I think, are better placed on like a vision board or maybe in a separate document or in a planner that I just don't use every day, but I don't need them in my main everyday carry planner, so they will not be in here anymore. So I will just insert my daily pages now. Like I said, I will never put in a full year at a time. So here I just have just the first few days of January. Right, so I have the first few days of January here, and I will add and decorate as I go. So as you can tell, my daily pages they start off blank like this, and I customize them and make them look the way I need them to look for the days in question. So right now, this is what we're working with, just the first few days of January. And I will continue decorating as I go. That's how I have done it for many years, and I'm pretty happy with that system. Now, in order to make sure that what I put on my daily pages and on my appointment pages reflects my goals, the tasks and activities that I need to do to accomplish my goals, I have found that it has been quite useful to mark out a routine. I'll have a routine that I write out on paper. This can evolve as the year goes on, so I don't take too much time to make this super decorated or complex, but I have a routine that I tend to put right at the back of all of my daily pages. And so I can consult this and see, for instance, that I've told myself that I will work on my novel every Wednesday. I will take care of my plants. I'll do my cleaning of my kitchen on Wednesdays. I'll do laundry on Thursdays and so on. And so this helps me to fill out my daily pages because I can consult both my appointment pages so I can see what appointments I have. And then I can consult my routine in case I've forgotten. I have found that as time goes on, I typically remember, so I don't actually need to consult it very often. But in case I've forgotten, I can consult and I can say, okay, the days when I want to script or edit a YouTube video include Sundays and Tuesdays, for example. So that helps me achieve my goals without me actually having to have a whole section with detailed goals written in, the perfect right way in a separate section of my planner. That's unnecessary when I can just have 1 or 2 pages that outline my routines, and these routines are designed to help me achieve my goals. You might be wondering about some of the sections of my planner that have become obsolete, that I will no longer be including because I have maybe found that they don't serve any purpose for me anymore. One of the sections, for instance, is anything that has to do with finances. So I've just told you what happens when it comes to my goals. But a lot of people also use their planners for financial tracking and budgeting. I have found over many years, it's been almost 10 years now that I've been planning pretty diligently, and I have found that I am better served by having a completely separate planner where I do my financial tracking. So I have a money planner, a finance tracker that is mostly for my business. This is not so much me budgeting my personal finances. I've found I don't need a planner for that at all. But for anything that has to do with my professional operations, my business, I run as a sole trader here in Belgium, and that does require some tracking of financial things, particularly for tax purposes. I have found that it is useful for me to keep a finance planner. If you are interested in how I track my finances and manage these things as a self-employed person or a sole trader, I would be very happy to do a video where I kind of go into my finance planner with you. Do leave a comment in the description if that is something that you'd be interested in, because it is a system that also, much like my personal planner, has taken some years for me to develop and perfect. And I am very happy to say, much like my personal planner, it has been streamlined and simplified. It is really not daunting, not challenging, very, very approachable for someone who is just starting a business, for instance, or who is just trying to navigate the financial aspects of their lives and their financial goals for the first time. I'd be very happy to go into this. So if you are interested in having a peek inside of my finance planner, let me know in the comments. This section of my planner, by the way, that I've just added is my code vault. You might have seen it in previous iterations of my planner. This is actually torn. It's far from perfect, but I have found that it works. And until it stops working, I don't feel the need to replace it. This is where I have the millions of ID numbers and usernames and passcodes and all of the things that I need to safeguard and store. I have found that my brain, unfortunately, can't handle it. So I do have a section of my planner where I keep those things, and it is a section of my planner that, I guess I've just said it's torn. That is evidence of how useful it is for me. So that is absolutely always going to be in my planner. I have found that this is a big part of myself having planner peace. I also have a section of my planner where I just have a few contacts pages. They are not pages that I ever really feel the need to use, I must admit, but I always appreciate having pages in my planner where if push comes to shove, if my phone is dead or whatever, I can write down contacts. and I know exactly where in my planner to find those contacts should I need to. So although I never use it, I mean, you can see it takes up no space, and it will not take up any more space than that because I don't use it. But I do think it's the kind of thing that in a pinch, I would be grateful that I have. So the section of my planner that comes after my daily pages and before my code vault is a notes section. Now that is a little bit unusual, and it's not a section that has always existed in my planner. It's actually a fairly recent one. I think it's only in the past 3 years or so that I have really attempted this. But I find that sometimes I will find myself in a meeting, or I'll find myself in an appointment where I need to take notes of something and I don't have a notebook on me, or I don't have a pen and paper other than my planner. And I want to be able to take notes in my planner, but I don't want to, tarnish my beautifully and carefully decorated daily pages. And also, I don't want to potentially lose the notes, because the thing about these daily pages is that there is one of them for almost every day of the year. So if I want to find the notes that I took at my doctor's appointment, then I have to remember what date was that doctor appointment. I have to flip through tons and tons of pages before I can find it. It's not practical. It's actually much easier if there is a section of my planner entirely devoted to notes, where I know, when I was in that meeting, if I felt like I had to take any notes, there's only one place they would be. So that's in this random blank notes section of my planner. And what I have found myself doing as well is that year on year, I typically add to the section. I have found that I need to keep track of some things over more than just 1 year. So I will continually add to my notes section and not necessarily remove the notes that I had put there from previous years. So that is what I am going to do now. I've added a few blank pages. I doubt that I will need all of this in 2021. And if this is too many, and you see it's not many, but if it does end up being more than what I need, I will remove some. But I will, for now, return existing notes here. And I have covered up some of the notes that I've taken, because as I've just said, it might be in an appointment that I have with a doctor or something. And so some of my notes are actually private. So I have made sure to cover them up. But yes, there are things here that I have written and been keeping track of for quite some time. So I find that that is a useful section in my planner, and it is never likely to get much bigger than that. So we have right now my appointment section, my daily pages, my notes, my code vault or my code safe, and my contact section. I'm just going to very quickly check and see if there is anything else from last year that I want to include in this planner, and then we are going to wrap up this video in record time. Okay, I've just looked through the things that have been sort of traveling with me in planner after planner for many years. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think that there is very much that I need to keep. I have these notes on how to take care of certain plants, but I realize I never consult those, so I will not put them in my planner again this year. I have packing lists, and I actually have a template, a printable template for this packing list. This is my master packing list, and I used to be someone who traveled on a very regular basis. Of course, given the year that we just had, I have not been traveling very much, so I have not used my packing list at all. I think I'll still put it back in my planner in hopes that this year will be a very different kind of year from the last one, but I'm not sure that that will be the case. So yeah, so my packing lists will go back. My packing list, as well as some of the material that I use in my financial planner, will be available as downloadable printables on my blog very soon. So do go to www.sunshinediary.com and follow my blog to make sure that you don't miss when I make those printables available. If they already are available, you will find them in the description box of this video, depending on when you're actually watching this video. I do find that packing list super handy, as well as some of the finance printables that I've designed. So I will be making those available to you for free. I should have said that before, for free on the blog. So the next step, now that I have essentially finished, you guys, I'm nearly done. This is pretty much it. The next thing that I do is that I will go through my appointments pages, and I will just take note of any appointments that have already been defined for this year. So on the 29th, I do have an appointment. I just put this on a sticky note in my old planner so that I can just transfer it in now. All right, so I have just about set this up. I find it so strange because I keep feeling like there must be more to do, but no, I'm pretty much done. That's it. So now I'm just going to be putting back my polymer clay paper clips, which I made. I feel like I showed you guys these in my last planner setup video as well, but I could be wrong about that. I mean, it was already an entire year ago. So I'm just going to be putting these back in, and yeah, I feel like that's it. It's so strange to think that this is already done. This is the simplest planner setup I have ever done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope it has been useful to you. I do want to find out from you, have you already found planner peace? And if you haven't, what do you think is keeping you from finding planner peace? That's something I'm super interested in finding out. I hope that if you haven't found it yet, you do find it this year. I am so glad that you have been here to watch this video. I do try really hard to fill my channel with interesting and useful content, so it means the world to me that you have opted to stick around and enjoy the journey. If you haven't done so already, do remember to click that thumbs up button. It really does help my channel tremendously. And do consider subscribing. I would love to have you back here for my future videos. In any event, I want to wish you a magnificent, amazing 2021. May all of your dreams come true for this new year. And I cannot wait to see you in my future videos. Bye.